Hey everyone, it's Caitlin and welcome to another video. So for those of you who don't know what this spiky beast in front of me is, this is a jackfruit and it's a very ripe one at that. So it looks a little brown and there's some bad spots on it that I'm gonna have to cut out. But I thought it would be fun to sort of film a video and chat with you guys while I'm opening this because this takes a really long time and I would normally listen to a podcast, but I thought it would be fun to, just sort of hang out with you guys and give you life updates and just chat about other things that I wouldn't normally mention in my video. So, this guy is pretty big, and he leaves little spikies in my hand when I pick him up. I don't know if you guys can see that. But anyways, I want to show you guys what I'm doing, but I want to get my face in it too, so this is proving to be difficult. So for those of you who haven't prepared a jackfruit before, this variety of jackfruit is really latexy. And to be honest, jackfruit is one of my favorite fruits, but every time I do this, I'm kind of is it worth it? I would rather just pay some money to have someone do this for me because the latex is so sticky and it's a really big pain to get the fruit out. But I'm going to give my most valiant effort. And so to prepare, I have this lovely high quality trash bag tablecloth. And the one secret to getting rid of the latex is to use coconut oil, but I don't really like to use it while I'm harvesting the jackfruit because I don't want the jackfruit itself to get greasy and because personally I don't really eat oil. And this time I'm gonna try to wear gloves. I don't think this is gonna work because I think the latex is gonna stick to the gloves, but I'm gonna attempt it. And for anyone who is concerned, I got these gloves in my grad school, but they're dental patient exam gloves. So I'm assuming that if these can be stuck in someone's mouth, they're hygienic enough to be able to touch my fruit and I can safely eat it afterwards. So let's see how this works. And I have a knife and a bowl over here to put the jackfruit pieces in. I'm just gonna put that on the ground though. So first I'm gonna cut into this and yeah, I'm not really sure how I'm gonna do that. This is a really ripe jackfruit, so there are some bad spots. So I just want to go for it. You need a really sharp knife for this usually. Ooh, it's very soft. So maybe, I didn't cut through all the way, but it's so yellow. Oh my gosh. I feel like this is gonna be really good. Ta-da! All right, so some of the pieces don't look the greatest because like I said, it is pretty ripe, but I'm gonna try my best to salvage what I can. And to be honest, I just sort of cut the pieces out, and if someone has a better way, you can gladly let me know in the comments below. But I'm just gonna do what works for me, and yeah. So also I wanted to kind of record myself doing this because I wanted to share how I got this jackfruit with you guys, and I wanted, just because I think it's really funny and very stereotypical vegan of me, but I didn't want to include it in any other one of my videos because it would just kind of be a random story then. It wouldn't really make sense. So as you guys know, I like to go on evening walks, and I sort of just walk around the neighborhood near me and I don't know, listen to podcasts, sort of relax. It's my me time for the evening before I have to get back to doing homework. And while I go on my evening walks, I like looking at all the fruit trees that are around me. So once I was walking past this house and I smelled something that really smelled like rotting fruit, which sounds weird, but when you live in Miami, you know the smell of rotting fruit because during mango season, people have mangoes rotting in their yard. But yeah, anyways, so I smelled that smell and I was curiosity's gonna kill the cat, but I'm gonna look into their yard. So I looked over the fence and I saw a jackfruit tree and there was a jackfruit just rotting in the grass. And I was just what the heck? Who would let a jackfruit just rot like that? It's my favorite fruit. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna take charge of the moment, and I wrote the people a letter because I saw that they had another jackfruit like hanging in the tree, but there was just one rotting in the ground. So I wrote them a letter and I was like, hi, like my name is Caitlin, like I live in the neighborhood and I walk by and I just noticed that you have a beautiful jackfruit tree, but one of them is rotting. Like if you ever want me to use the other one, or if you're not going to do anything with it, I would happily like take it off your hands. And then I left my cell phone number, and the people actually texted me, and something had happened with that one jackfruit, which is why it was going bad. But they normally sell the jackfruits to their neighbors, and I was just like, oh, well, okay. So he offered to sell me the next one, and I love jackfruit, so I gladly agreed. And here we are. So that was like a few weeks ago, and so I don't know if this is the exact jackfruit, because they did have other jackfruits growing on the trees in our yard, but I just went to their house 2 days ago to pick it up, and the guy picked this up, and this is a massive jackfruit, guys. Like, I don't know how much, like how big it was when you saw it in the beginning, like if you really appreciated it, but it's pretty big. The guy like picked it up and was like, oh yeah, like nice to meet you, you can just have this one for $10. And I was like, $10? Are you serious? Sorry if I cough or like sound congested, by the way. I've been sick this past week. But yeah, so obviously I got really excited because one, I found this jackfruit through my own expedition, and two, like that's the cheapest I would ever pay for a jackfruit. So I was like, sweet man, like thanks. And so I put it on the back of my bike and moseyed on home. And I feel like I probably should have harvested it yesterday, but for those of you who don't know, but when I am filming this, yesterday was like Hurricane Matthew, and I live in Miami and there's a hurricane coming through here. So I don't know, I was just kind of like staying inside and trying not to do anything, and I kind of like forgot about it. I was just sitting there, and then I woke up today and was like, well, the hurricane did not hit us, so I should do something productive with my life. And then I realized that I should probably dismantle this jackfruit. But yeah, like Hurricane Matthew was never really going to hit Miami. Thank you to all of you guys who messaged me on Instagram or commented on YouTube telling me that you hoped that I was safe. But yeah, the hurricane like mostly went north of us, so it really wasn't a big deal for me. And honestly, the worst that we got from it was some rain, and yeah, it was very anticlimactic, to be honest. Like I was kind of prepared to experience my first tropical storm and hurricane in Miami, but nothing ended up happening. But that's probably for the best, I guess, because it was pretty bad in other areas, and I'm definitely thinking of all the people who it did more seriously affect. And yeah, I hope that they're all safe and okay. But yeah, that's the story of this jackfruit and why I am here right now. And actually my glove method is working out pretty well. Let's see. What else can we talk about? I guess I can give you guys sort of like a life update. So for those of you who don't know, which I feel like most of you should know by now, I am in graduate school studying physical therapy, and my classes are all going really well. This semester is kind of more challenging than my last semester, just because last semester was mostly anatomy classes and that was more of a review for me. But this semester is really interesting because we're taking classes that like directly relate to the profession of PT, and I'm learning things that I will be using as a physical therapist. So yeah, like that's all really exciting, but at the same time, like it's graduate school, so it's not easy. But you know, I'm doing okay. I'm learning in my classes, and I'm still trying to put out videos and post regularly. But yeah, like overall, I'm very satisfied with my program and everything that I'm learning. It is hard to kind of post regularly on YouTube though, and Instagram, and maintain good grades in your classes. So I kind of understand why there aren't a lot of other vegan YouTubers who are also students. I think there are really only a few, and they don't post like as consistently as some of the other YouTubers who like may post every day or have a set schedule. If you're interested in them, I know Apples and Amanda's. She's awesome. She goes to school in California, and she's studying I think dietetics or nutrition at Loma Linda University. She's super chill, and she gives great advice on college living and stuff, and she's actually living in a college dorm, so if maybe you should check her channel out to see what she like eats in a dorm. And also Ashley, or Raw in College, she's actually a raw vegan, so she's like a level 100 vegan, and she goes to school in, I think, Madison, but she is a vegan student as well. And other than that, I really don't know if there are any other vegan students out there. So if you guys know any channels, you should like let me know as well, because I would definitely be interested in checking them out. Oh, I forgot. My friend Lisa, who stays near Martha's Vineyard, she's a vegan student. She lives in Canada, so I don't know. I guess I just didn't consider you as like an American student. But she has a lot of cool recipes too. Like her channel has been so good recently. She's been posting a lot of slow cooker recipes and stuff. So if you only have, or sorry, rice cooker. So if you only have a rice cooker, you should definitely check her channel out, because she has a lot of cool recipes up on there. But yeah, other than that, my life is pretty boring, guys. Like, I try to keep it interesting on YouTube, but basically my life consists of wake up, do yoga, go to school, come home, take a picture for Instagram or film a YouTube video, do homework, and go to sleep. So like, on that note, for me, sometimes I feel like it is hard to, I don't know, like put out interesting content, or not that it's necessarily hard, I just sort of feel self-conscious about the fact that like my videos, aren't as interesting as maybe some other people, because people who have YouTube as their full-time job, like they have the opportunity to travel around and post like different adventurous stories and I don't know, see all these cool places and stuff. And like I try to vlog when I travel, but the reality is that my everyday life is pretty dang boring. So like I try to do the best that I can, but at the same time, like I also feel like it can be beneficial for you guys to see that, because it shows that like veganism isn't just like a fairy tale or an adventure story. It's also something that can be maintained in a real and everyday life, and maybe slightly boring life, because yeah, my life can be slightly boring sometimes. But yeah, because that is true. Like being vegan isn't about making awesome vlogs. Like I would still be vegan even if I didn't have a YouTube channel, and like I am still vegan even though I live a boring life as a graduate student. And we do need vegans in like every aspect of society. I think like we need vegan doctors and we need vegan physical therapists, hopefully. But yeah, so I hope you guys don't think like my videos are completely and entirely boring, and that they're still slightly relevant. And yeah, that's the end of that tangent. I'm really struggling with things to come up to talk to you guys about, so I'm kind of like regretting making this video. Let's see, what else can we talk about? Let's talk about the seasons. So if you've made it this far in the video, let me know what your favorite season is and in the comments below, because I'm curious. Because I feel like a lot of people, their favorite season is the month that they had their birthday. But for me, that's not the case. My birthday is in July 18th, for those of you who don't know. But my favorite season is fall, because I love the like cooler, crisp air. But I like it when it's warm enough outside, so you could like comfortably wear a sweater, or you could comfortably wear a t-shirt, depending on however you're feeling. And I just really love the smell of the leaves falling off of the trees. And my favorite smell though is like the day after Halloween, when everyone's been burning their jack-o'-lanterns, and it kind of smells like cooking pumpkin outside. I don't know if any of you guys have the same sentiment, or if you've ever like experienced that before, but let me know in the comments too if you know what I'm talking about. But that's like my favorite smell of fall. But yeah, as a kid, I just love like raking the leaves with my family on Sundays and doing stuff like that. And yeah, like I like the summer, but I feel like it's kind of biased just to like a season just because your birthday's in it. Like there has to be more to life than that, you know? Like, don't you like the actual weather? But this is my first fall in Miami, and I think I'm gonna miss fall because obviously it's Miami, so we don't really have seasons. So I'm not really gonna get to see like the leaves change color on the trees or like leaves falling and stuff like that. It's just gonna be like the same old boring palm trees. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that. But I do know when I come home to Maryland to visit my family for Thanksgiving, I'm probably gonna be freezing my butt off. Because even now, like, it's October and my friends are posting like pictures of them in sweaters and stuff. And here in Miami, it's like finally at the acceptable temperature where I can wear a short sleeve t-shirt and go outside and not be sweating my butt off. So it's just like a completely different environment. But I also think you kind of have to go away from the environments that you're used to or that you grew up in or that you may not necessarily like in order to kind of miss them and really appreciate them for what they are. Because for me, I went to undergrad in Pittsburgh and the Pittsburgh winters are the worst. Like, I hate a Pittsburgh winter. And I was like, I can never be this cold. I just want to live somewhere where it's warm all the time and I don't have to worry about anything like that. And then I came to Miami, and now that I'm thinking about it, I'm kind of like, oh, maybe I do miss the seasons. Like, maybe I do need seasons in my life. But like, I don't miss them enough where I'm gonna leave Miami. But it is like nice to know that I do appreciate winter and that maybe I will miss it. And I'll just keep that in mind in my future life. But for now, I probably will enjoy the balmy, maybe 60-degree winter down here. I don't really know. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Like, I haven't really lived here before. You know, life is all about challenging yourself too and putting yourself outside of your comfort zone. But I will say, I wouldn't put myself outside of my comfort zone in the sense that I would move somewhere where it was cold year round, because that's just not me, okay? I'm the kind of person who hates being cold more than almost anything else, I'd say. Like, I'd always ask my friends, like, would you rather be hot or cold? And then they say, oh, well, I would rather be cold because then you can put more layers on. And my response to that is, you're not answering the question, because if you put more layers on if you're cold, that means you'd rather be warm than be cold. I'm talking about, would you rather be freezing cold and really annoyed, or would you rather be sweltering hot? And most people still say, oh, well, like, I'd still rather be cold because I hate being hot and I hate sweating. But for me, I'm the exact opposite. Like, I would rather be in sweltering humidity, dying and feeling like I couldn't breathe, than standing in the Arctic shivering to death. And like, I'm not saying either of those two things are pleasant, but I would just prefer the heat so much more over the cold, because I don't really have great circulation. I never have, and I just get grumpy, and then I can't feel my feet and my toes start to hurt, and I'm just like not as much of a fun person to be around. So yeah, that's another thing you guys can let me know in the comments below. You can answer my question, would you rather be really, really cold or really, really hot? Alright guys, I feel like the video right now is about like 18 to 20 minutes, and I feel like that's an acceptable length for a kind of like hang out with me sort of deal. And I am also, as I'm doing this, realizing that I'm going much, much slower when I record this and have to talk to you guys at the same time, because obviously my brain cannot think about two abstract concepts at once. So I think I'm just gonna end the video here, and I will temporarily stop. And I have a lot more to go, and I do need to get some homework done today, and I have to run a few other errands because, you know, grad student problems. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know if you want me to film like breakfast with Caitlin's videos, like maybe we can all like hang out and actually eat a meal together, and then this would be like a mukbang, but you know. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I do really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Oh no, I have to take my gloves off to turn the camera off.